I'm going to swing it over to you. Go ahead.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. My name is Dani. I also go by Blue Cottage Mommy. Some people know me better by that. So anyway, like Molly said, we met just over 4 years ago, which I cannot even believe it's been that long. I remember going, I was still fairly new, so I had joined that February, went to boot camp that October, and honestly, I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I didn't know. I'm one of those people that, jumps out of an airplane and kind of builds my parachute on the way down. So I'm one of those that's like, oh, I'll worry about that when I get there. So, getting to boot camp, I had no idea what to expect. I really didn't even know what it meant to be a director or a leader of any kind. I just was like, oh, I'll just get there when I get there, and I'll figure it out. So, one of kind of my strengths, I guess, would be attraction marketing and branding. These are things that I just came into Scentsy already knowing I had a business prior to doing Scentsy, that I kind of started learning this stuff with and was able to bring that into my Scentsy business. And so my question to you would be, if you stripped away all the Scentsy, like everything go away, what's left? What's left? And from that, you want to create your branding from there. Now we're not just Scentsy people. You were a person before you joined Scentsy. What were the things that you enjoyed? What are you known for? Do you have, a cute nickname? A lot of people ask me how I came up with Blue Cottage Mommy, and honestly, I lived in a blue 1800s house and I had kids. So Blue Cottage Mommy is how that came about. So it doesn't have to be a cute nickname or anything, but really think about kind of the content and the impression you want to leave people with. Now, I know we're all familiar with social media as a whole, and we don't really consider ourselves influencers by any stretch, but to a degree, you are an influencer of yourself, your branding, all of your content that you share. That's giving people the impression of who you are. Now, there are people that make things look really easy or really perfect all the time. But when's the last time you ever flipped through a magazine and looked at Kim Kardashian and was like, that's totally my soul sister. I relate to her so hard. Nobody, right? Nobody wants anyone perfect. When's the last time you went on Pinterest and was like, yep, that's my life right there? Oh, nobody. So one of the things I love most about Molly is Molly's probably one of the most authentic people that I know. Like, what you see is what you get. Like, she doesn't put on a show for anybody. She's just Molly. And she's the one that gets up on stage in New Orleans and air guitars it to Bohemian Rhapsody. So that's
Don't out me. There's video proof too, dang it. Okay.
There's video proof, there is. So whatever it is that you choose to portray or show or whatever, make sure that whatever that is, it's authentic. Because at the end of the day, I want people to know me, and know the real me, because they're gonna relate more to my flaws than they will my perfection. Molly's really open about things like mental health and things like that, and that really kind of speaks to her brand too, and her authenticity, because a lot of people can look at that and go, oh, me too, because when you look at anything that you do in your business, I don't know if you guys have ever heard where they say you should only walk into a home party with one bag, right? With one bag of stuff, not a whole bunch, not where it takes you 5 hours to set up, just one bag. You walk in, you set it up, you're done, you pack it away, you walk out, one bag. And the reason being is you want someone to look at that and go, oh, I could do that. Me too. I could do that. That doesn't look that hard. If she can do it, I can do it. And And when you're able to break it down and make it easy to where people can relate to that and envision themselves doing that, it makes your job a lot easier with sharing the opportunity and sharing the business and sharing the product and making those connections. The vast majority of my business is on social media, so I don't have the luxury of that first impression or, getting to know someone in person, laughing and having those intimate conversations and picking up on social cues and stuff. I've got to bridge the gap between what people get to perceive of me on social media and who I really am, so that they can make a connection with me. So whatever it is that you're portraying, just make sure that it's authentic, because again, people are going to grab onto those little things that they pick up, and they're like, me too. You've got crazy kids in the background, you've got stuff going on here, whenever I have like a load of laundry stacked up on my dining room table, I try to show that, because how often does that happen to you guys? I feel like I pick my dining room table out dependent upon how much laundry that it can hold for me, because I hate laundry. But that's relatable to people. How relatable is it when someone says, oh yeah, I wash, I dry, and then I immediately fold and put away? It's not at all relatable to me. I have no idea what planet you're from if that is you. If it is you, bless your heart, but like that, I don't relate to that because that's not my life. So all these things that we seem embarrassed by, these are the things that people go, oh, me too. I love the app TikTok. Is anyone on TikTok? It's like by far my favorite social media app. And one of the things I love is that people are able to create such great, funny content over things that we all do or we all think, but nobody says them. And often those are the ones that have the most interaction and views and all of that and followers, because people are like, yes, someone finally said it. So that's one of the reasons why authenticity is so important. And again, no one relates to perfection. The crazier, the wackier, the more raw and bare it is, people love that stuff. For example, I did a training in my team page one day, and I'm going at it and I'm all, doing my thing, whatever. And all of a sudden I was live in my team page. All of a sudden, like, all these little laughy faces start floating up the screen, and I'm like, I must be really entertaining. I don't know. But I looked in the background, my dogs were humping each other. My two dogs were just humping in the background. And people are laughing, but they're paying attention. But how many people are like, yeah, my dogs do that all the time too. It's hilarious. It's embarrassing as crap, but it's hilarious. So don't be afraid to show it all, really. Things that I do not allow on my social media, controversy, politics, things like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to tell you what you should and what you should not. But my personal views on it are, do I have political views and opinions? Yeah, absolutely. Do I have just certain moral views and opinions? Yeah, absolutely. But those are not things that prevent me from having a good working relationship with anybody. It's not something that I'm willing to put forth and alienate myself against team members or customers. I don't care what party you stand on, as long as you want to have a Scentsy party. So that's kind of my view. So as long as it's educational, uplifting, inspirational, funny, all that kind of stuff, then it's all game. But otherwise, I try to remain neutral territory, because I want people to know that when they come to whatever social media that I have, that they're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, that they know it's just going to be like this safe place where they aren't going to have to worry about like, okay, what's she posting now? Or am I going to be offended now? It's there's a really great book, Leaders Eat Last or Start With Why. It's one of them. It's by Simon Sinek. And one of the things he was talking about was why certain brands have cult followings and, like things like Apple, Disney, all that stuff. And one of the things he pointed out was, how often do our kids come to us and go, hey, Mom, I'm going to watch the Disney Channel. And you don't have to go, oh, what are you watching on there? What's going on? Let me preview that first. If they say Disney, you're like, oh, okay, it's good. We're good. It's all right. Well, I don't care what you're watching on there. You're on the Disney Channel. It can't be that bad. And I want people to kind of view my content that way. It doesn't matter what it is.
Trying to potty train her, so she was like, what?
It doesn't matter what it is that I've posted. They know that whatever they come on to my content with, it's going to be something inspirational, motivational, funny, beautiful, whatever. It's not going to be something that's going to make them feel up in arms about anything. So figure out things that you enjoy. Figure out ways to create a following and content that is not just Scentsy, because I don't want people coming to me just because they need smelly goods. I want them coming to me because they enjoy me as a person. One of the things I love about the kind of the brand that I've created for myself is I'm pretty confident if tomorrow morning Scentsy closes its doors, Heidi Norval says, we're out of business, we're done, it's over. God forbid, knock on wood. But I'm pretty confident with what I have built for myself. I could walk away to another company and I would have those people follow with me. They don't care what it is I'm doing, but they love me. They're invested in me as a person, not necessarily the stuff I sell. They love the stuff I sell, obviously. But they're invested in me as a person. They'll go, okay, I'll try that. She recommends it, I'll try it. So you want to make sure that that's the kind of brand that you build for yourself. That's the kind of following you build. There are a lot of people that work their business completely faceless, and there's a lot of people with like the paid websites and all of that, and they're just online stores. They're just another URL. They're not a person. They don't have these connections. So by building a connection with people where they're really emotionally invested in you, vast majority of all the people that follow me, I've never met. They're nowhere near me. They're not in my almost my entire customer base is somewhere else in the country. They're not anywhere near me. But they know my kids. They've watched my kids grow up through social media, and I bet you if I saw them out in public, they'd be able to recognize me and we'd be able to strike up a conversation like we just talked last week, face to face. So that's part of your branding, guys. How do you make people feel? Are they excited to follow you? Are they eager to see what you recommend, what's next, and all of that? And can you create like a cute name or something for yourself? Yeah, sure, I would. Some of my most successful leaders and team members are those that took the time in thinking about their branding and a name and all of that. But that doesn't mean that you have to go out and get like a color scheme or a logo or anything like that. Just think of a very well-rounded branding for yourself and just kind of run with that, even if it's just you. My face, I slap my face on everything. All my labels have my face on it. Everybody knows, oh, that's Dani's stuff. And a lot of times people will tag me like, oh, that's Dani, this reminds me of you. All of that's part of your branding, but mostly how you make people feel. Uh-oh. Did I mute? Okay, I'm good. Does anyone have any questions so far? I don't have my chat open. Let me see.
There's nothing written in the chat right now, Dani, but if anyone wants to unmute themselves and ask any questions, go right ahead. Okay, I think you can keep going if you have anything else you want to build on. We just had a couple people join, so they're probably like, I just got here.
Hi. Okay, what else can I talk about? So when it comes to, especially with social media, in your attraction marketing, like I mentioned in the beginning, everything that you do, you want to portray it in a way that somebody says, oh, I could do that. I could do that. That didn't look so hard. So doing life in your business. I mean, one of the great things about our products are they're things that you use every single day. It's not something that you have to go, oh, it looks like you gained a little weight there, or hey, your face is looking a little messed up. We've got products that make people smell great, makes their home feel more homey. It helps bring up memories of their grandma and hanging out and making apple pie with grandma on Sundays. They're things that bring joy to parents. You've got all of our new buddies that you get to put. My kids put their teeth that they lose inside their buddy for the tooth fairy, and those are memories that are always going to stay. We've got laundry products, we've got cleaning products, we've got body wash, we've got oils. I mean, we are the leading company in our industry for fragrance, and we have stuff that people use every day. And so it's easy to really incorporate into our life. I don't have to go out of my way to use a Scentsy product. I'm doing laundry every day. I'm cleaning my house every day, multiple times a day. I'm picking up my kids' buddies all over the house. There are things that we use every single day that we can just share about, and not just say, oh, well, we sell body wash, buy it here on my link below. We can take a picture of our husband half naked in the shower saying, oh, he really loves his mystery man, and make funny, fun content that people can relate to. It's just something that we do every single day. And it doesn't have to be one of those things that we have to just stop everything that we're doing and then go out of our way to work our businesses. It's something that we can work on the go. And that's appealing to people. They don't want to add more crap to their plate. They want to do things that take things off of their plate. And so if you can make Scentsy look like something that's not necessarily work, but something that's fun for them, prior to the pandemic crap, our economy was doing really well, and people weren't as concerned about making extra money. So it wasn't so much appealing to the fact that people can make extra income, but more so of the appeal of the lifestyle, of that Scentsy life, of traveling and being with Scentsy family at a Scentsy family reunion and world tour, and you're doing team meetups, and it's something that's just so fun, and you've got all these smelly goods that you can get together, and you smell and you touch and you feel and you do all the things, and it's community, it's family, it's something that people want to be a part of, and that's all part of your attraction marketing. Very rarely, guys, and I've earned an annual mentor every year since I joined. I think the most I've ever sponsored in 1 year is like 47. And so I'm no stranger to sponsoring. But my whole point being is, rarely have I ever asked anyone directly to join my team. Never in those words, but I've very rarely ever presented the opportunity directly and said, hey, you should really join Scentsy. Because the vast majority of people that I've sponsored have come to me and like, what are you doing that you seem to be happy like all the time? What are you doing that's taking you traveling all over the world? What are you doing that makes your house smell so good? Do you really have fun? Are you really able to do that with your 2 kids and your husband and all the other things? So these are the things that are pulling people in. You're making things look so fun, whether it's the products or whether it's the opportunity, that people just, they want a part of that. It's like Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally, and the lady's like, I'll have what she's having. That's the kind of desire in your attraction marketing you want to create, where people are like, I don't know what it is she's smoking, but I want some. That looks amazing. So think of that when you post this. Whenever you're posting anything on social media, is this something that people are going to look at and think, oh man, I would really like to do what she does, or I would really love to have the life that she has? Or is this something that's just going to make people go, oh, she's trying to get my money again, or oh, she's trying to get me to do something again? Everything, just look back at it, read back at it, and really think about how this is portrayed to people. Is it authentic? Is it real? Is it showing them the best side of all the possibilities and all the things that you love about Scentsy? Another thing with social media is take photos of you and your real product, go live, do videos. I do 30-minute live Facebook parties. And the reason why I do those versus posting parties where I just post over several days, or even I've even done post parties where in an hour I'm doing all these different postings. And the reason why I don't like that is because I started noticing that people would fall off very quickly. Interaction would die, all the stuff, it's just where it would go to die. And the moment I started doing fun, lively, live things or videos or whatever, people are tuning in. They're feeding off of your energy. They're able to really kind of grasp who you are, even though it's a one-way connect. So like if I'm going live, it's not like they can really talk back to me other than in the comments. But they're still kind of getting a grasp for who they think I am. They're reading my personality. They're reading what's all going on behind me, how I say things, all of that stuff. So you're able to bridge a connection or people feel as though they know you even though they've never met you. So doing things that includes your face, your kids, your family, your husband, these are things that make a sticky bond with people, where people are invested in you as a person. So I know there are like flyer groups that we have out there, and Lord knows that there's beautiful flyers out there, and our Scentsy marketing images are gorgeous, but nothing beats you holding up your warmer, or you showing your bubble bath that you're using with the body wash, or your kids snuggled down with their favorite buddies. It may not be perfect. It may not, you may not take as great a pictures as Johnny Nino or Chelsea Otto, or, whoever, Rachel Pence and all them that take awesome photos. It may not be the best, but it's authentic and it's true. And it's showing people that you use the products and you love the products. And these are the reasons why. I figured that would happen. So whatever it is that you guys can really insert your face and your being and your branding, do it, and that's why I started throwing my face on all of my labels and my catalogs and all of that. It's not because I'm conceited and I think I'm gorgeous and I belong on the cover of Vogue. It's because I want people to go, oh, Dani, there's Dani. I like Dani. Dani makes me happy. She makes my house smell good. I like Dani. And it makes you a person. It makes it a lot more connected, where people are more willing to refer you because they love you, and you're not just the person that they get stuff from when they run out. I saw a question pop up. Hold on. I have a question about your 30-minute Facebook party. Okay, Brandy, shoot.
Hey guys, so I have a quick question. Do you do it as live demo type things, or are you doing posting of images before the live, or like what is your like template that you use?
So I'll share a recording of one of my videos I've uploaded to YouTube for you guys to see, kind of like if you want to watch the whole thing. It's usually exactly the same except for monthly specials or warmer of the month or my decor or whatever. So I start out by doing it as a Facebook event. I don't like groups, I like events. So I do it as an event. Obviously, hostess coaching is still very important. So I give my hostess some tips of what I want her to do. And then I have her invite 30 to 50 people. And then leading up to the party, usually about for 3 to 5 days prior to, I'll just start doing daily posts. Usually it's just once a day, little tidbits about Scentsy, little tidbits about me, whatever. And then on the day of, I'll post every few hours, kind of leading up. And then I go live and I have a little 30-minute spiel on, I try to focus on the fragrance system. So I talk about the warmers, how we have full-size light bulb warmers, element warmers, and mini warmers. Then I move on to the fan family, so like the wall fans, mini fans, the go. Then I talk about the flowers, and then I end with the diffusers, and then I talk about with boxes, monthly specials, etc. So I really focus, and I let them know that we have a whole range of fragrance products, so body products, laundry, cleaning, but I don't really spend too much time on those in the party, because what hooks people is our Scentsy fragrance systems, not the, oh, look, they have a counter clean.
Brandy, did you want to add anything to that, or is that pretty?
Sorry, Naby was just screaming her head off over here. Life of a newborn. It's just lovely. No, I think that's great. I think you were actually discussed in my leadership training today, because they were talking about some rock star that's doing all of these 30-minute live parties, and it's so funny that I end up finding you tonight. So I think that's lovely. And somebody is jumpy. I'm gonna mute, but thank you so much.
No problem. So with my parties, I just do an online shopping link. I let them know if they're near the hostess to just message me or the hostess with their order, and I'll have it shipped to her. Otherwise, they can order online. And that's basically it. I usually leave it open for whatever the next payday is. That's pretty much it.
I'm just going to ask one question because so you said you do events instead of groups. Do you do that off of your VIP page, or where do you do your events out of?
I don't have a VIP page.
You don't. Okay. So where do you do your events out of? Just like you just have them on your personal page?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I don't and not to say that VIP pages are wrong or business pages are wrong or anything like that. If you do them and you're successful, then great. I personally have neither. Because I really feel like, again, with the type of products that we have, we're able to integrate them into our daily life so easily that I don't need to separate who I am and what I do and what I use from my personal stuff. And this is probably the biggest tip I will give you for Facebook parties or online parties that you do. Anyone that says going or maybe to my events, I send them a friend request, because even though they don't, maybe they don't watch live, maybe they don't even buy from the party, but 85% of those that I send a friend request to accept it, and now I'm in their newsfeed. So maybe they didn't buy, maybe they didn't watch, but now I'm in there and they're like, oh, who's this girl? Okay, what's she talking about? And so often I'll get a new team member, or I'll get an order, or I'll get, hey, can I host the party? And I'm like, who do I know? Why do I know this person? Oh, this was from so-and-so's party. I am on, yeah, I'll talk about that in just a minute. So I send them a friend request, and now I'm in their newsfeed, and now they get to know me even more just from the party. Because again, I don't want one-time orders. I don't want them knowing me only through a text message. I want to have a connection with these people. I want them to know who I am. I want to know who they are. I want to build relationships, because these are people that hopefully are going to be part of my team or part of my customer base. And I really want to love on them and show them a lot of love and Scentsy fun. And as far as social media platforms go, I am pretty much on all platforms. Instagram, Facebook, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on TikTok. I guess the only one I'm not really on is like Snapchat, but is even that a thing anymore? I don't know. I was only I only ever had one, so like use the filters, and now they're stupid. um so like I am on all of them, but what I would tell you is pick a lane and do it well. Don't half-ass a bunch of them. Just pick one and get good at it, and if you get good at that one, then make it a point to get better at another. So about a year ago, I had an Instagram. I've had an Instagram for several years now, but I was insta stupid. I didn't know how to do Instagram. I didn't know the point. Like, to me, it was so boring. I'm a Facebook girl through and through, but I feel like I say that like I'm an Android, not an Apple, which is also true. And I don't like switching it up. But I made a point to go, I'm going to put more intention behind my Instagram, and I grew it in a year from like 700 followers to like I'm almost at 1,300 followers, which doesn't seem like a lot, and it's not. But I've been more intentional about growing it. So instead of having it just sit there doing me nothing, I've intentionally grown it more than it was. So again, I put a lot more effort into my Facebook account than I do my Instagram, but I'm not completely ignoring my Instagram like I used to. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a ton. But to kind of give you guys reference, my personal PRV ranged anywhere between 4,000 and 8,500 last year. So on any given month. So like my PRV is good. So it doesn't sound like I have a lot of followers. I'm not that big a deal, but my PRV is there, my presence is there, and it's enough to where I'm getting successful in my personal business and sales and showing up and sponsoring and all of that. So it is there, and I am intentional about it. But pick a lane, whatever it is that you do, if you just do it well.
Absolutely. Anybody else have any other questions?
And the great thing too, guys, about social media is it's constantly evolving. And to some people that might be scary. Yes, this is my full-time job. To some people it might be scary to know that things evolve and change, and maybe once you've mastered it, it's changed again, but it keeps things interesting. It keeps things evolving. It keeps our way of business from going stale. because there's so many different ways that we can do it. And I really think a big upcoming app is things like TikTok and stuff. And I don't know if you saw where TikTok kind of blanketed banned like MLMs, they list pyramid schemes, whatever, as if we're the same thing. Well, I mean, obviously we're not, but and the reason why is mainly because they don't want to deal with having to provide the team that goes in and filters through all the riffraff and the spam and all that stuff. And we know that we're better than that, right? But there are companies out there that act that way, and we're kind of the ambassadors, not only for ourselves, but of Scentsy, where we're representing Scentsy as a whole. We're not like those people. We're not like them. When you say those things, that's not us. We're not part of that stuff. We're an elite group of small business people, and people, but the biggest thing is people on these apps, no matter what app you're on, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, people want to be entertained. They don't want to be sold to. They don't want to be recruited. They don't want to feel like there's ulterior motives. They want to get on these apps and they want to have fun. They want to laugh. They want to relate to people. They want to learn something. They want to be entertained for the 30 minutes they have on their lunch break, whatever it is. And you've got to make sure that your content provides that, where they're not feeling, oh, there she is again, oh, what is she trying to sell now? Making sure that your content is above that. I saw another question. Hold on. Do you ever set office hours to work, or do you just work around family life, or both? So I recently retired my husband early last fall, I think around like September, and it's been fabulous. He was in the restaurant industry for about 16 years. He worked at Red Lobster. And so it's been wonderful to have him home, and it really frees me up to do business more. He's totally game if I want to lock myself in the bedroom and turn on Netflix while I knock out, customer mail or whatever it is that I need to get done with my business. He is so great about, taking the kids outside or doing whatever it is so I can get some work done. But that's only a recent luxury. Before, I was really having to work my business around when does he go to work? A lot of times I just did everything at night after the kids went to bed, because he worked nighttime, so he usually wouldn't get home until anywhere between like 10:30, 1 in the morning. We could never tell with his work, but so I know what it's like to have this much time, especially when you've got new babies, especially when you've got crazy toddlers. There's been times where I had Facebook parties start at 8:30 at night, and I still had a screaming toddler upstairs, and I'm having to do it smiling, going, "Oh, our kid's great," So there's times where you're just gonna have to work around. But no matter what your situation, know that it's a phase. It's not gonna last forever. Just because you have a screaming newborn, or just because you have crazy toddlers, or whatever else, it doesn't mean that it's always gonna be that way. And utilize things that help you streamline. Having little time really forces you to look at what's income producing, what's making you money, what's going to get you the most bang for your buck, the most bang for your time. Things like the Amy app. If you guys don't use Amy for follow-up or team communication, I would highly, Amy could charge me $1 billion a year. I really wouldn't care, because I love that I can open that app while I'm on the toilet if I really wanted to, and knock out 150 follow-ups in like 5 minutes. So just whatever. If you're breastfeeding and sitting on the couch and you're scrolling your phone anyway, knock out some follow-ups on Amy. There's really no excuse when we have such awesome tools to utilize at our disposal, and making sure that the things that you're doing it as most efficiently as you can. I think I saw another question. Hold on. How do you avoid Facebook jail? Knock on wood, I've never been in Facebook jail. Honestly, it really kind of is indicative of the way you say things and how you present things. Are you selling to people, or are you sharing things that you love as if you were making a recommendation on things that you don't get paid on? You know what I mean? Like when you go to a restaurant and you order whatever food, and you post about it on Facebook. Oh my God, go to Carl's because their eggs Benedict is amazing. I don't know. So how are you presenting it to people on social media? And making sure that your words and the things that you do, your messaging, all that stuff, you're not, oh, for the love of God, do not copy and paste. Do not be one of those people that see a post and go, oh, that seems really great. Copy, paste, exactly everything. Those are things that Facebook goes, oh, no, 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 no. So make sure that you guys are original. Even top leaders, sometimes I see copy and paste each other, and it's exhausting because you know better. Don't do it. If you see a post that looks really great, go, oh, okay, how can I make this me? And I don't mean where they say don't plagiarize in school, and so you change, they are to their. Don't do that. I mean, truly make it you. Inject your personality, inject your words, inject your story, and really make it you. Do you think it's important to post something every single day? Hell yeah, girl. You got to show up and you got to be consistent. If your social media is inactive and your mouth is closed, that means your business is not turning. So that doesn't mean that you can't take days off or whatever. But it means that you can still share about stuff, whether it's, maybe you're not sharing about a product that day. Maybe you're sharing like, oh my gosh, I'm at the beach working, still able to knock out some follow-ups or talk with my friends or whatever, while we're at the beach. Or maybe sometimes it's just a lifestyle post, or maybe talk about things that aren't even Scentsy related, you guys. Like, oh, I got this new cardigan thing from my FabFitFun. Does anyone else have FabFitFun? Ask for people's opinions. Oh, I've been thinking about coloring this wall. What color would you color this wall here? Again, it doesn't have to be Scentsy, but you want to still be present, and you want people still interacting with you. People love giving unsolicited advice. So just imagine when you do solicit it, all the interaction that people are like, yeah, you should paint it neon green. I don't know. People say the most outrageous. It doesn't mean you have to paint your wall neon green, but hey, you got an interaction and it boosted your algorithm, and now you're popping up in more people's feeds when you do make a Scentsy post. So for me personally, I was not back in the day, I was not chipper. I was more pessimistic than I was optimistic. And I had someone point it out, and they said, I challenge you to post a motivational quote every morning. And I remember thinking to myself, well, that's stupid. That's not gonna work. And she's like, I challenge you to do it for a week. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna do it, just prove you wrong. And so I did. I woke up every morning, I went to Pinterest, I'm like, motivational quote. And I'd sit there for a few minutes and I'd scroll until I found one that spoke to me, and then I post it. And guess what? Like after that week, I'm like, I feel more sunny, the grass is more green, the sky is more blue, everything, and it really kind of starts your day off well. One, because you're really kind of putting those good vibes out there as the very first thing that you do, but also because you're reading stuff to get through. And sometimes it's stuff I come across in a book that I'm reading, or sometimes it's in a podcast that I was listening to or whatever, and I make the image myself, or so it doesn't matter, whatever it is, but you're kind of starting the day off. So every morning I have some people going, oh, I love your posts in the morning. Oh, I can't start my morning until I've read your quote for the day, or and I do it for my personal pages and I do it for my team page, and everybody loves it. So if you don't know where to start there. Just be a light out there in the grime of social media world.
I have to piggyback and just let people know, Dani, she'll post 1 or 2 Scentsy posts a day, but if you follow her, you'll see that girl loves Target. There's usually once a week that she's posting about Target. Right now, she just moved to Mississippi and bought this beautiful new house. And yes, it's not a blue cottage anymore, but she's still blue cottage mommy. And all the projects that she and her husband, she has these big dreams, and he is able to make these projects happen, and it's gorgeous. But, it doesn't, like she said before, it doesn't have to be pushy Scentsy. It could be like, hey, I'm doing my laundry, so I'm spraying Scentsy Fresh on my mattress to, keep that down. But then she's posting about, what her kiddos are doing that day, or she has this white gorgeous cat, and like the cat and the dogs don't exactly love each other, so she'll be like, hey, they're all getting baths today and they hate it, or whatever. I mean, it's not Scentsy in your face all the time. It truly is sharing, not selling, not being pushy, not being spammy. It feels so authentic. So, I mean, you don't have to be that person, and it doesn't have to feel like a chore. And if you look at her stuff, you'll see that it doesn't look like a chore. It looks like fun. So you just have to flip that mindset a little bit of like it being salesy. You're trying to get PRV, you're trying to grow your business, which you are, but flip it on its head a little bit and make it look different than what everybody else is doing. Because if everybody else is doing it, it can come off really boring. So you kind of want to put your own spin on it. Like she said, what else are you in love with? Pick a couple of things and post about them that you love. Like for me, it's Disney, it's crocheting, it's Peggy being whatever head, it's my boys, my stinky boys. So pick a couple of things that are part of your brand and make that part of that brand as well as Scentsy. So it's all woven together. So when they think of certain things, like I will see on Dani's page, people are posting stuff about Target. People are posting stuff about this, like, oh, we thought you would just love this because of this, that, and the other thing. And I send her that kind of stuff too. And she sends me stuff too, because we're both big Disney freaks. But, you'll see that people remember her when they think of stuff, and they'll message her or they'll post on her wall, because when they think of this, they think of Dani. And that's kind of where you want to put that, where you kind of want to put yourself. Pick a couple things, like she said, with mental health. I talk about mental health a lot, so that's another thing that I'll have people messaging me, that have never bought Scentsy from me, and that's fine, but they're messaging me saying, hey, I'm having a hard time with this and mental health stuff. And I'll talk them through it to a point, but then I always put them towards a mental health professional, because that is not me. But I just wanted to piggyback on that, Dani, because I love that, like, yes, you post your business stuff every day, but it's so much more than that, and it all ties together beautifully.
Saw
Go
another
ahead.
question come through. Do you do anything particular to stay noticed in your news feed? So again, this kind of really goes to being authentic. So again, people really gravitate towards things that no one talks about, or that is kind of taboo, or things that that just seem so silly, that again, that no one talks about but everyone's experiencing. Like recently, I don't know if you guys have seen them, those flow pyramid gummies, or period gummies. Have you seen those? Where like if you have bad periods, you can take these gummies and it's supposed to like help. Anyway, it kept coming up in my news feed, these ads, and I'm like, okay, I'll give them a try. Cause I have terrible periods and it's probably TMI for some of you guys, but I'm sure most of you are women on here. But I bought them and I shared, like, hey, I bought these period gummies. And because I have really terrible cramps, and my period is hell, and I spend days like in the fetal position in pain. And my comment section was a mile long, and people going, oh, me too, let me know how you like these. So again, it's not necessarily that your content is all Scentsy. Again, you don't want to be an infomercial, but creating content where people know things that you go through. In the end of November, I had my very first panic attack. I never experienced panic attack before. I legit thought I was dying on my kitchen floor. One night, ambulance came, I ended up in the ER, and I've like 4 months later, I'm still struggling with stuff from it. But so many people have reached out, like, I've had panic attacks before, and oh my gosh, this is what I did. I can relate to that so much. And so something that was like so terrifying for me, and on a level really embarrassing, I was open about, and people reached out and connected with me over that, going, me too. And again, these are all things, did you have a really bad day and you screamed at your kids? Like, that's something that we want to like hide under the rug and like not talk about. But like, if you were to post, I had a really bad day and I was not the best mom I could have been, And I just lost my head and screamed at my kids today. And I'm just feeling really shitty about it. Do you know how many people go, oh my God, me too? Like, is there something in the water? Is the moon in a certain phase? I don't know. But like my kids were aliens and I lost my mind and I screamed at them too. And now we feel like bad moms together, but people connect with stuff like that. So whether people are talking about it, whether people are acknowledging it, it's still happening with people. And sometimes they're just looking for people to go, I was doing it, so they can go, me too. So just again, be authentic with what's going on. And you don't have to air all your dirty laundry or talk about all the crazy stuff, but you know, don't be afraid if that's the kind of stuff you do want to draw attention to. There are so many influencers on, especially like Instagram, that share like bikini photos of themselves with not magazine normal bodies, and people are like, oh my gosh, this is the first time I've ever seen a body that looks like mine, and they get millions of followers because they're willing to put it out there when nobody else is, and it makes people feel human. It makes them feel like me too. Hold on, I think I saw another question. To clarify, I mean how to work with people with Facebook algorithms so you stay be consistent. Be consistent, show up every day. That's whether it's something Scentsy related, whether it's just a hey, how you doing, whether it's a well, this is what we're having for dinner tonight, or this is my latest crochet project, or this is my latest DIY project with my husband, or this is my latest Target haul, or come unbox a Scentsy box with me. Just be there, be present where people know that. But there's a fine line between being consistent and showing up and being on all the time. I see people that, like, if you do, like, you know how like Instagram stories and Facebook stories, it's like little dashes. I've seen people, it's like freaking dots. On. They have that many stories that it's like little dots up there. And because they're on all the time, if you strung all of their stories together, you could probably be watching them for like 3 hours. They're on all the time. And for me, I don't want to be that person. I don't ever want to convey that the only way that you can be successful in this business is to be plugged in all the time, because it's not at all the case. So there's a fine line between being consistent and showing up and just never leaving. Don't be the person that never leaves.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Absolutely. And two, you know, I know Dani does this. She'll have a great hair day. So she'll take multiple pictures. And I talked about this before. She'll take a crap ton of pictures on a Monday and space them out all over the week. She'll change outfits. She'll change backgrounds. She'll change stuff. So it looks like she's doing something every day. She looks gorgeous every day, but it may not be the case. She just plans ahead. So she has that content to post when she's like, okay, I have to do a Scentsy post today. I don't feel like doing anything, but I have this picture that I can use. You know, so if you're having a great hair day and you have some time, take a bunch of pictures, change your outfit so it looks like it's different days. And then you have, you know, however many days of content that you can use in the future. And all you have to do is make a little post for it and put it on your wall, and there you go.
I mean, guys, we sell Disney, for goodness sakes. Like, have fun with that. I've done where I've dressed, if you look at my profile picture right now, it's the Mad Hatter holding a Scentsy bar or the Cheshire Cat buddy or something. And so I've like coordinated like my outfit and my makeup to our product. So it's like all this like vibe going on. Or like when we released our latest buddies, like the jellyfish and the sea otter, like I posted facts throughout the day of different facts about jellyfish, different facts about sea otters. And it kept you like, really? I didn't know that about sea otters. I didn't know that about jellyfish. And it gets people interested in stuff. Each day, there's calendars where you can look up like what is today. Today is National Sock Day or Blow a Bubblegum Day or whatever it is. And you can look up what day it is and like circle your content around that. Well, today's National Sock Day. Guess what? I'm going to do a load of socks. What can I talk? Why is there always that you put socks in and one of them is always missing? How does that happen? And you know, post about that. So and hey, by the way, as you're posting a picture of your washer, there's a bottle of laundry liquid sitting there on top of it. You know, you don't even have to bring attention to it by saying laundry liquid, but it's sitting there in the picture and people can see it. So just be creative with the stuff that you do and how do you do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I shared that picture of you as the Mad Hatter with your Cheshire cat to like draw people's attention to have them come and, come to the talk tonight because I know it's a really attention grabbing photo. And yeah, I always joke that those socks go to Narnia, that Mr. Tumnus comes and steals them out of my laundry. And if anyone reads the Chronicles of Narnia, I'm like, yep, he comes and steals them out of my laundry. That's when we can't find a sock, we're like, damn it, Mr. Tumnus. And
That's as good an explanation as any.
right. Okay, well, we are coming up on an hour. Does anybody have any other questions for Dani while we have her? Nothing. Well, some things are off limits. Let's stick to the topic at hand. But if anyone has anything that they want to ask, you can put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Go right ahead.
I have a question. It's Brandy. I have every time
And Navy.
Yeah, it's Brandy and Navy again here. So when you are like being on social media, let's say Instagram, because I'm like, my goal for this month is to like organically be growing my following. How do you find better ways to be able, oh my God, better ways to find followers like that will start following you? Do you use hashtags or is it just consistency?
I use hashtags, but not necessarily consistently. I use hashtags more to be funny. So it's all of my followers, I don't go looking for them. It's all organic. So it's some kind of content I shared that someone else stumbled upon and they found it valuable and they shared it and I gained followers from that. Like recently oh, this is one of my favorite things right now is our letterboard warmer. Do you know how much freaking fun the letterboard warmer is? I've been doing the letterboard warmer every single day. I change it every single day and post something. And you can go on Pinterest and do, funny letterboards and find different ones and change it up. But I had a letterboard and I tagged hashtag letterboard and letterboard warmer and all that. And I had a mom page on Instagram of like 15,000 followers find me and share me, and she ended up following me, and she's continued to share and comment and whatever. So everything that I've done, I've never once paid for followers or boosted ads or anything like that. Everything I do is organic.
Amazing. Thank you for the info.
Yeah. So again, it's all about content quality, just sharing things that people can relate to or find interesting or want to see in their newsfeed every day.
And two, if anybody thinks of anything afterwards, I always record and post these. So if you think of something afterwards and you want to put it in the comments, I can always relay the comment to Dani and we can share that with her so that way she can answer it. I'll post back and forth because I'm sure she's in a bunch of groups, so we don't need to spam her with ours, but I'm in contact with her quite often. So if you guys have questions, just let me know.
She's got a VIP pass.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk a little bit.
Blue Cottage Mommy.
Not going to Disney.
If you just search Blue Cottage Mommy, you'll find me.
And to be fair, I'm on TikTok, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if I follow Dani on TikTok. So I literally just searched while we're doing this, Blue Cottage Mommy, and guess who shows up? So y'all go to TikTok and you can see her right there. You look her up on Instagram. I mean, you search that and she shows up. So there's a little bit thinking about branding, whether or not you choose to have that type of, recognition, whether you use your name, whether you use Blue Cottage Mommy, whether you use, whatever the case may be, that's your brand. So my brand is just me. It's just Molly Maurer. And it's kind of fun to say. So it's just like, sounds like, drunken stupor there. But, that's just what I go for. So I have it on everything. And, you just have to pick what you want and go with it. Pick a few things and start out with a few things. If you find that like, oh, people aren't relating as much to this, you can always switch stuff up, but you have to be authentic with it. Don't just be like, I'm going to be a rock climber and you've never climbed rocks before. And it's like, and you live in Wisconsin where there's fields and there's like no rocks to climb at all. that's not authentic, but different, I mean, Brandy can use her children and use Navy and be like, oh my God, I never have time for my Scentsy business with, this baby. That's why I'm so glad I can do my job with baby on my hip and screaming in the background and be texting and doing things I need to do. That's part of Brandy's brand right now, use
Amen
it.
to that. I actually just found a doormat for my door, because I always say to everyone that comes in, like, welcome to the jungle. And I was able to find that. So now, like, that's really my brand right now. Just like embracing the craziness of life.
Mm-hmm. Use it.
Yeah, I gotta. If not, I'd go crazy.
It's so relatable too. We've all been there.
Yep.
I can remember at boot camp, Dani had her 4-month-old. And then we went to New York in January and Dani had her 7-month-old. And she was sitting through trainings with screaming babies. And guess how many Scentsy mamas she had taken turns? Oh, I'll take the baby for a little bit so you can pay attention. Oh, I'll take the baby. I mean, it was so relatable that everyone's like Reese, her daughter, is everyone's little Scentsy niecey baby, because that's what her life was at that time. And, she still worked that business. She still went to those trainings. She just had that baby on her hip, So, I mean, if y'all know, if you can have a baby, you can pretty much do anything.
I came home from the night I came home from the hospital. I had a Facebook party that night.
Yeah, because she's nuts.
Where there's a will, there's a way, you guys.
I guarantee it wasn't a live party though.
It was not. That wasn't a thing yet.
I can guarantee that crap was not live.
I strapped her to me and I sat at my computer desk and I did a posting party for like an hour.
Oh my goodness.
I was hosting a party from my hospital bed with Navy.
There you go.
Because you do what you got to do.
That's exactly, like, just because I had a baby doesn't mean my business is going to stop. I just have to go down a different paved way. And that's
And think of it this way. It's not that hard, that you can do it sitting on the couch with a brand new baby, sitting on the couch watching Netflix. There's no excuses.
Exactly. If I'm scrolling on social media for more than 5 minutes, I stop myself and I'm like, stop right now. Is this costing me money or making me money? And then
Carrie Short says that Brandy was helping her team from her hospital bed too.
Yeah. Because I love my team.
Well, yes, we know, but sometimes too, you got to slow down, girl.
I know. I'm taking the weekend though. This weekend, I'm going to visit my brand new nephew. So we all got COVID tested and we're going to visit.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But yeah, so branding, baby, I mean, just write down a few things that when you think of yourself and you think of like how, not you can market yourself, but if what is your brand, write those things down and start playing around with them and see where you get, see what kind of content you can create.
And don't get hung up on a name or a color scheme or a logo. It's about the meat of it, which is your content, who you are, and what you put out there.
Amen. Well, I just want to thank you again for taking this time to sit with us. This was wonderful. And I think we all learned a lot. And I think, I'm just so glad you're my friend. Thank you so much for doing this.
Back at you, friend.
All right. I am going to post this for anyone who wants to watch later. And again, if you have questions that you think of, I will relay them to Dani. Thanks so much, guys, for coming. Have a great night.
Bye.
Thank you.